Greetings, friends. This is Elizabeth Schermer with an intuitive reading for the Aquarian new moon, which occurs on Thursday, February 15th at 1:05 p.m. Pacific time. This moon happens to be a solar eclipse. We'll talk a little bit about the shadow today, and I threw an unusual spread. I threw a dual spread asking for what we need to know about the shadow and what we need to know about the light. And I'm really excited to bring this forward to you. It feels like yesterday that I was here with the full moon message, which was 2 weeks ago. It has gone by really fast. I don't know about you. This year is all about physical activity and being busy, and busy in the best way of bringing forward our dreams and anchoring and manifesting our dreams in physicality. And so we're all going to be busy this year. It's all about learning how to collaborate and connect and move together and work together and play together so that we can create together what we have been envisioning for so long. So the tarot card that represents Aquarius is the star, and the star beautifully illustrates the principle of Aquarian consciousness, which is the expansion into our light. And Aquarius is an air sign, and air is we think of air as sometimes intellect, but intellect is only one piece of the intelligence of air. At the highest level, air is breath, and air resides in our hearts. So the opportunity we have as we together as a people, as a collective, are expanding into the age of Aquarius, the opportunity we have is an expansion of consciousness, a remembrance of who we truly are, a connection to our light, to the light of the star within, and our ability to draw down that light, to embody that light, and then to offer that light to the world. And through each of us sharing our light collectively, we're creating new worlds. We're building new worlds. So the Aquarian new moon every year represents a very special threshold. And in the Chinese calendar, it actually represents the new year because of this commitment and expansion into new potential and new possibility. So Aquarius is about intelligence and the intelligence of the heart, and that indeed is the signature of this new moon. It's the intelligence of what knowledge really means. It's in the intelligence of what it means to rest in the mind of your heart. And so it nests beautifully with teachings of Year of the Dog, because the dog is all about authentic embodied intelligence, what it means to be a human being. And qualities of dog intelligence are tolerance and cooperation and patience and sharing and community. And so this is the intelligence of our tribe this year: cooperation, tolerance, patience, sharing, community, collaboration. And that intelligence embraces the intellect, but it doesn't rest in the intellect, it rests in the heart. So this new moon is accompanied by a solar eclipse, and you may all have, many of you really learned about solar eclipses last summer when we experienced a total solar eclipse. And what I'd like to remind you now is that eclipses always offer some aspect of shadow. And with a lunar eclipse, the shadow is when the sun crosses, the earth and sun come into alignment, and the shadow crosses the face of the moon. What is the shadow creates an expansion of time and space, because the moon regulates the rhythms of time. So the lunar eclipse a couple of weeks ago has propelled us into a period where we are transcending the normal ways we grow and change. And we have opportunities to make big leaps forward. And so many of us have experienced unusual physical or emotional or mental symptoms over the last couple of weeks, because our shadows are being revealed. What's been hidden is being revealed, and we have the opportunity to shed things in order to grow in big ways. lunar and solar eclipse always accompany each other. And so the solar eclipse this week, what happens with the shadow when the moon crosses the face of the sun, that shadow creates new opportunities of consciousness, because the shadow is what's amplified. The light of the sun is interrupted for a few moments, and we see things in a new way. We see and understand the shadow in a new way. We see patterns that we haven't seen before. And those of us who experience the total eclipse know how the shadow patterns during an eclipse are phenomenal. What happens is that's internal also. We see inside in new ways. We understand signatures of what's been hidden in new ways. And shadow doesn't just mean what we've rejected or what's uncomfortable. Shadow can also be our treasure that's been buried. So the release of shadow also uncovers the true treasure of who we are, and what's called the hidden shadow or the bright shadow within. So this is a powerful cycle. It's a powerful time to have an eclipse when we're also at the launch of the new Aquarian year. So pay attention, and you can reflect back on the last couple of weeks and in the couple of weeks moving forward. Some people say that these eclipse effects last for 6 months. It's really, it's big and ongoing. Pay attention to what's being revealed to you, both through discomfort and through big unexpected manifestations of blessing. Pay attention to what's being revealed. With Aquarian intelligence, there's a quality of observation that enables you to see things you haven't seen before, and the eclipse is just amplifying those natural, innate intelligences of the heart that you always carry. So let me dive in now quickly to the tarot spread, and I'll start with the spread I drew asking about what we need to know about shadow and what's going to be revealed to us, what is being revealed to us. And so the first card in the position of circumstances is Nine of Discs gain. This is a very clear message about our awareness in this year of dog, of everything that is coming forward, the potential, the incredible potential for creation. And so this is inspiring, and it can also feel overwhelming because we feel the responsibility and the opportunity of what we've been waiting for. And so the shadow aspect of this is the potential for overwhelm, which is reflected in the other two cards. The Eight of Wands came up reversed, and the Eight of Wands signifies the ability to run these lightning bolts of eagerness and excitement and awareness and consciousness through our system while we stay coherent, which is the octahedron in the background. Right now, there are many times when the bolts of awareness, the lightning bolts of possibility are overwhelming. We feel the charge coming through, and it's a little bit hard for our nervous systems to hold it. So this is just an awareness in our mind, signifying the shadow could meet overwhelm of how am I going to do this? How is it going to be possible? How can I possibly manage all of these opportunities? Just know that those questions are the other side of the potential for infinite possibility that's represented in this card. And this is one of the key cards I'm working with this year in dog year, to be able to run this charge and run the consciousness from a place of stability within and hold this rainbow of infinite potential while I remain coherent. And then all the way to the right in the position of spirit is the Nine of Swords, which is an accompaniment to the Nine of Discs. And the Nine of Swords in spirit is it's called cruelty. It signifies us being hard on ourselves, our tendencies to be super critical of ourselves because of our high expectations. 9 is a number of mastery, and so this represents in the position of spirit our willingness to look at our own patterns and of criticism and the ways in which we hold others also to impossible standards, to be able to witness and see those patterns and realize that we can release them and step into kindness towards ourselves and others, knowing that we're always doing our best. So those are patterns that are going to be revealed, And the final card I drew in the first round spread, is because I always draw 4 cards, was the Ten of Swords Ruin. And so the extra piece to be aware of is that these swords in the position of mind are actually hidden mastery. The 9 and 10 are the highest power cards in the suit of swords, suit of mind, which is Aquarius. And so the mastery hidden within the Ten of Swords in the fear of ruin is the ability to hold the abundance of infinite potential in our mind. Fear of ruin is just the fear of things not working out because of past experiences. So you're going to have opportunities in these coming days to witness those fears in yourself and know that old fears of ruin, which may be actual circumstances, are not dictating the present and the future unless you choose to recreate them or bring them forward. So pay attention to those patterns and know that they're being released. Allow the energy to run through your body and be kind to yourself as that's happening. So this felt super strategic to me and really affirming. I drew one more card before I pulled in the second spread, asking what's a good keynote for us to hold with the shadow reading, and it was the Lover's card. So know that in this process, you are embracing all the parts of who you are. The light and the dark, the known and the unknown, the mastery and the novice, the past and the present and the future. All of it is being integrated and embraced. You're coming into relationship with yourself, and that's the key process here. The figure in the back who is overseeing the marriage of the marriage within and the marriage of your relationships with your life and with others. The figure in the background is the Hermit, and the Hermit is the wise one, the nines we talked about a minute ago, the aspect of your own mastery that's stepping into wisdom. So know that this is a high level opportunity right now to really embrace by embracing your circumstances, by embracing what's showing up, you're embracing who you are and your relationship with yourself on this journey. And so now quickly, I'm going to bring in the message of light. We talked about the shadow, now we'll talk about the light. So the first card in the reading of the light of this eclipse is the Three of Cups, abundance in the position of circumstances, and often we use this card to talk about practices of appreciation. The consciousness, the Three of Cups abundance is abundance held in the heart, our ability to fully embrace our circumstances and express appreciation for the opportunities to learn from everything. And in that way, we begin to see the beauty even in the midst of challenge. And that's emphasized in the card in the position of spirit, which is the Ace of Cups, which is the gift of love. And this is indeed the highest gift of light, is the gift of love and our experience of return to connection and source, and the love that holds us, and the love that is the glue and the power, the will to create that binds the universe together. And then finally, an awesome synchronicity, the position in spirit is the Hermit, who oversees these nines. The Hermit is the 9, and it oversees these 9s of shadow that we talked about, and oversees the marriage of the lovers. And so the Hermit in spirit is saying that indeed your higher self and your helpers and guides and all of Source is helping you to connect with your own path of wisdom. And through your ability to show up to this process, you are embracing all aspects of yourself, including the shadow, which is the three-headed dog, who we will be traveling with this year. And the three-headed dog now is playing and prancing along beside the Hermit, no longer feared and no longer an adversary. And then the final card is the Sun. That was the 4th card I drew. So we are absolutely embracing the truth of ourselves as stars in the light of this Aquarian new moon and the light of the shadow within. And over the coming month, you will embrace the truth of your own self as a star and the truth of illuminated consciousness and the ways in which we truly are traveling together and creating together and bringing all of these infinite potentials together forward. So thanks for sharing the message with me today. And I wish you an amazing celebration and an amazing month coming forward and the launch of an amazing year. This is Elizabeth Schermer and the Alchemy Mystery School with our Aquarian new moon and solar eclipse message.